This is a story called The Childhood Sweethearts. It's April 1914 and two babies from different families living on the same street have just been born. There's baby Margaret and baby Joseph. A few months later, on the 28th of July, the First World War broke out and Joseph and Margaret's fathers were called up to fight. They didn't see their babies until they were 4 years old, and the war was over in November 1918. Growing up, the babies always lived on the same street and they went through school together. At school, Joseph was sometimes embarrassed by Margaret because from the very first day she would follow him around and she wouldn't go away. There were times when Margaret would go up to Joseph and kiss him and try and hold his hands. This always caused him embarrassment because his friends would laugh at him and take the mickey. However, one day Margaret became really ill and was rushed to hospital, and she was in there with polio for weeks on end. When she came home, Joseph started being nicer to her even at school. As years went by, Joseph and Margaret became inseparable. Eventually they realised that they had feelings for each other, and at the tender age of 12 they became boyfriend and girlfriend. Back then all they did was hold hands, and this continued for another year. However, Margaret and her family had to move away because Margaret's dad was really ill and they couldn't afford the house they were living in. For years they lost touch. They both went on to get married and have kids. None of them forgot each other and they often thought about each other. Both their partners and their kids knew about them being childhood sweethearts. Over the years they all laughed at the stories Margaret and Joseph told them. After 14 years of marriage, Joseph lost his wife to a heart attack. Margaret's husband died of the cholera when her eldest daughter was 12. For years Margaret and Joseph raised their children alone. None of them ever got married again. Two of Margaret's kids became ill and almost died in infancy, but thankfully they both managed to pull through. As Joseph's kids were growing up, there wasn't much money until one day Joseph's dad died, leaving him the family business and a great deal of money. Joseph had two sons and a daughter who all helped him to run the business once they were old enough. Then one day a young girl applied for a job at Joseph's business, and as soon as Joseph saw her, he knew that she was Margaret's daughter just by looking at her. He asked her, "Is your mum called Margaret Bailey?" "Yes, Bailey was her maiden name." "How did you know that?" said Deirdre. "Me and your mum were childhood sweethearts and we grew up together. We share the same birthday," said Joseph. "Oh my God, so you're the famous Joseph. The stories my mum's told me about the things you two got up to as kids are so funny," said Deirdre. "How is your mum these days? I know she got married and had kids." "Yeah, she had 3 kids and our dad died a few years ago and mum's been on her own ever since." "Do you think she'd agree to see me?" asked Joseph. "I can't see any reason why she wouldn't," said Deirdre. A few days later Joseph and Margaret met up and they were so happy to see each other they cried. They dated and walked out together for a year. Then on Valentine's Day 1944 Joseph put the question, "Margaret, please will you marry me?" Yes, of course I will," said Margaret. 4 months later they were married. Then a year later Margaret gave birth to their first child together. They went on to have 4 more kids together. As they both had 3 kids each from their first marriages and 5 together, they now had 11 kids altogether. Margaret and Joseph have now been married for 76 years. They have 11 children, 30 grandchildren, 18 great-grand grandchildren and 13 great-great-grandchildren. They both live in the same nursing home and are both aged 106 years old. Coming from such a large family, they are never short of visitors. They are such a happy couple with a wonderful, loving, extremely large and happy family. Like everyone, they've had their ups and downs, but they've got through it like everyone has to. They've survived 2 world wars and they have had to go through some very tough times throughout their lives, but they've always come through smiling at the other side. You couldn't meet a happier, nicer, or more loving couple and family if you tried. The end. Thank you.